camera do I look at? I don't know. I think this
Whatever.
one right here.
This one?
This one? No, it's this one right here.
Boom, boom, boom.
All right. Hey, it's Matt Hillier once again here with my buddy Oliver Peck here at the Cadillac Barn. You rebranded it, right?
It's the Cadillac Barn.
Okay.
Or no.
Well, we just call it the Cadillac Barn.
Cadillac Barn Bar.
Yeah.
Barn Bar.
Whichever. We're here. We're having a good time. All right.
So far, so good.
So far, so good. So we've talked a bunch because I knew that we would, because there's a lot to talk about. They say it's not the years, it's the miles, but it's a bunch for the two of us, I think. I wanted to talk to you about music because, I mean, the first time
music.
I know, I hear music all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, but the first time I ever met you was at a Reverend Horton Heat show at the Hop.
Yes.
And I think it was still called the Hop.
It was
then.
the Hop.
Yeah. So
my recollection of the story is it was a pretty packed crowd.
It was in a small room.
Small room, so it's like it was one of those shows. It's like really tiny, but a lot of people, and I was there, super excited to be there, and people were getting a little during the rocking songs. People were getting a little bit too aggro for the size of the room.
Right.
So there's a lot of this elbowing back and forth going on, and like some people are trying to have fun, and some people are being a little aggressive or whatever. And out of the blue, like I get pushed around real hard, and whatever happens, and then there's this little kid that is just like, well, at the time I was probably like 21 or 2.
Right.
But there's a kid there that's way younger than me that's like just right next to me, like pushing these people back and being all like, man, because we're obviously into the music.
Right.
I didn't know who you were. I didn't know shit. You were probably at 15 at 16.
It's 17 probably.
16 or 17.
Something like that.
I don't know. You might have been.
I don't know. I'm old enough. But I get
quite a few years younger than I am.
I'm 43 now, but like I get younger every time these stories come up.
You're probably 16 or 17.
Something like that.
And you look young.
Yeah.
And then halfway through the set, Jim calls you up on stage and you shred on the guitar, and I was blown away.
Right.
And I'm like, damn, that little kid.
Yeah.
But and then that's how we met.
Yeah.
And then years later we met again,
and then come to find out that we already had like a whole bunch of mutual friends anyways. Like you already knew my wife, before
you did.
Yeah, before I ever did.
Back when I was on drugs and partying, I knew your wife. She used to like party.
Yeah, I know. We can keep those stories out of this segment.
She used to party.
yeah, I know.
She used to party.
She's a fine, upstanding pillar of the community now, and we can just move on.
Hey, everybody used to something.
People used to do stuff.
She was a lovely young woman.
She is a lovely woman.
Now she's old.
a wonderful mother. She's on the PTA.
I'm gonna say she's pretty old right now.
Hey, she still parties with me, and that's all that matters. But anyway, so we met through music.
Yeah.
And through the years, we, of course, I'm a musician. You've come to a lot of our shows. We've gone to a lot of the same shows together. We've talked a lot about music over the years. You have planned a lot of events that we've been involved in musically.
Yeah.
And lots of other great musicians. So like music has been a major thread in everything that you've done. I wonder if you can just sort of expand on like your ideas as far as like getting into everything, how quickly it was an idea of yours to go, we got to plan a music thing.
Well, for me, man, obviously we throw parties. We've played dozens and dozens of events for
Lots.
me, or for us, or whatever you want to call it. For me, music is a major portion of my life. Like no matter, like when you're tattooing and you're sitting there or painting or drawing or whatever it is, like you have music going. When you're driving, you have music going. I go to sleep with music playing. Anything I do, there's music playing. I would rather listen to music than watch television. I'd rather, at any time. And there's certain musics that you can listen to over and over and over, and there's always interested in hearing new music. But I'm also a huge live music fan.
Yeah.
There's certain things that I just love live that I don't really listen to other than live. What I mean? Like, I love going to blues shows. You know, I went and saw Buddy Guy probably 20 times.
I still have never seen Buddy Guy.
And it's an amazing show.
I'd love to see
I've probably been to 20 Buddy Guy live shows. I don't know if, I mean, maybe one or two times have I ever like purposely pushed play on a Buddy Guy song on a record or a CD, or nowadays,
Right.
you know, it's a Spotify or whatever. It's just something about when it's live, it's totally different.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I go to live music events every week of my life, man. Any event I do, music is a part of it.
Right.
You know, if any event that there is, whether it's a tattoo event or a motorcycle show, there's music. Like to me, having the music go with it is important. And even if there's just music playing in the background, what music is playing in the background to me is important. You know,
Yeah.
it sets a mood, it sets a feeling, it's everything to
Can I
it.
tell you something? We have talked a lot about music over the years. We've had debates on certain things, which I'm not going to open up.
When we were younger,
certain cans of
we
worms.
would hang out and
Yeah.
go to shows or play shows and go to bars and do whatever, and then we'd always go to a diner
Yes.
at like 2, 3 in the morning, and we'd sit there and have strong debates about music.
Well, one particular subject, we won't even talk about that. But I want to tell you something,
Yeah.
and I'll lead it into a question. There's one band that you kind of flipped my switch on that I heard 1,000 times, and I never really thought about how good they were or how much I loved them, was Steely Dan. I was never a Steely Dan fan until I hung out with you. And so
It's a good band.
Oh, it's a great band. It's a great band, right?
great band.
So, and that's one of the things I love is just that, like, whether it's getting tattooed in the shop
Yeah.
or hanging out and talking about it, your taste in music is diverse, like my taste in music is. You wouldn't eat the same cereal every single day, so you don't listen to the same stuff every single day. But like, if you had to rattle off, let's just say 5 of the top, the ones that really just flipped your switch and just you always go back to.
Definitely Steely Dan. Definitely Tom Petty. Obviously the Beatles.
Yes.
But from an early age, growing up with the Beatles, everything spawned from the Beatles. Like, because there's things, you listen to the Beatles.
Oh, and Elvis.
You listen to the Beatles, and then there's things about Steely Dan that are reminiscent of different eras of the Beatles. So it's like that spawned that. And then for me, punk rock is huge.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the things that started me into punk rock being Descendants and Black Flag and stuff like that.
Right.
But the biggest thing that I discovered when I was young was Dinosaur Jr. to me. Once I heard Dinosaur Jr. and Jay Mass's guitar playing and that kind of stuff, to me that was a meld between like this punk rock stuff that was going on, but man, there's like, it's orchestrated, and so it kind of like Steely Dan, in a weird way. Like, I like them both. Like, it's a lot of thought put into Dinosaur Jr. and Jay Mass's music. You know, it's like he was like the Beatles of punk rock to me.
So then, when you fast forward to the point where you're getting to tattoo you, it's got to be like a huge sort of moment for you. I mean, you've met a lot of people. Met a lot of people, done a lot of things. Like, but that's got to be pretty cool. You know what I mean? Knowing that you're such a huge fan from such an early time.
It took many years. I met Jay Massis dozens of times, and after so many times, I've been tattooed by a lot of my friends, and I've been on tour with a lot of bands, and I always have the guys in the band tattoo me, and it's always super cool. A lot of my favorite bands have tattooed on me, but a lot of those people are tattoo people.
Yeah.
You know, Jay Massis is not a tattoo person. He doesn't have a tattoo. He's scared of tattoos. He's like, thinks it's crazy. When I was talking about, the first time I asked, like, hey, I would like to get you to tattoo, he was just like, whew, I would never do that. And then years later, I met his manager, because his manager also manages Lucero, which is my buddy's band, and he was like, we got to make this happen.
Right.
In his eyes, he's like, we could we put it on, made some press out of it.
Yeah.
And got it on YouTube, and there's a video of Jay Massey tattooing me, and it, it's a cool thing.
Yeah.
But for me, it was just like top of the world.
That's
man.
cool, man.
Well,
I love the fact that you do all this stuff, you plan all these events, you give back to the community, and music is always a thread in it. And I really appreciate being a part of it. Like whether it's the Christmas party, the Toys for Tots deal you do every year, or the Southern Throwdown, or even the Lone Star River Run.
Yeah, man.
It's always good.
Lone Star River Run was great.
Uh-huh.
But I love, live music.
Yeah.
And we've been friends a long time. I've seen you through many styles of music. But your songwriting and your guitar playing, I've never let me down.
All right, good.
I love it.
Well, the tattooing is going all right too. So.
Yeah.
All right, buddy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cadillac Barn. Cadillac Barn.